continuous.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar brought to you by Bursa Malaysia. So today we are very excited to be featuring T7 Global Berhad in our corporate presentation webinar. So allow me to briefly introduce our company today. T7 Global Berhad is a leading solutions provider primarily in the energy industry with strong presence over Asia, serving a diverse range of customers that include multinational oil and gas companies, power and general industries throughout the world. So over the years, T7 Global has grown organically as well as through smart partnerships and strategic acquisitions with local and internationally renowned companies. All right, so T7 Global also has interests in the aerospace and defense industry and infrastructure construction industry. So today we are very excited to have invited Mr. Tan Kevin, who is the executive director on T7 Global Berhad, to share with us, to provide us, how they can provide smarter and efficient solutions for oil and gas players. We also have Mr. Azam Yakim, who is the head of the energy division, to share with us, to help us with the Q&A in relation to oil and gas sector. So welcome to this program, Kevin and Asman.
Hi. Good afternoon, Shane, and everyone here.
Yes, we are very excited to hear from you.
So first of all, I think thank you, Shane, and of course Bursa Malaysia for organizing such session. I think first of all, just to introduce myself, Tan Kevin, I'm the executive director for T7 Global Berhad. Also to apologize on behalf of COO, Mr. Jim, who won't be able to join us. So I've gotten the head of energy, Mr. Azman, here to help answer on any energy-related questions if need be. So let me first of all bring you to the T7 Global Group corporate briefing. So essentially, just to give you a bit about ourselves, this presentation, we're going for about 20 to 30 minutes and covering basically 4 sections, like company overview, business divisions of T7 Global, some of the financial highlights for the past 5 years, and also some of the industry opportunities that we are going for in coming forward. So first of all, T7 Global Berhad. So we are founded in 1990. We are Sharia compliant company who's listed on the main market of Bursa Malaysia. So our stock code being 7228, and we are predominantly known as integrated energy solutions provider. However, we have also over the years diversified ourselves into other industry such as aerospace, metal surface treatment, and also infrastructure construction specialists. To bring you a bit of our milestone where we have come about since the formation of Tanjung Offshore. So we started in 1990 as Tanjung Offshore Services, predominantly in the OSV, offshore supply vessel, and also operation and maintenance business. At one stage, we also operated up to 16 fleets of OSV, and through the successes, we have also managed to list ourselves in 2005 in the main market of Bursa Malaysia. Over the years since our listing status, we have also continued to grow ourselves, and towards 2015, where we have divested some of our vessel business to Equity National Berhad. Since then, we have rebranded ourselves in 2016 as T7 Global Berhad. This is in line with our diversification plan, where we have also diversified into aerospace and also infrastructure construction sectors as well. So over the next 2 years, despite going through the pandemic situation, for everyone, it's very unfortunately also that to announce that these 2 years, 2020 to 2021, was a contract replenishing year for T7. Why I say so, it started off in 2020, where we secured one of our second MOPU leasing contract from Petronas. This will last us this will go on for the next 10 years. And also in 2021, with a range of contracts secured, we have secured with value worth up to 500 million in 2021 as well. So from there, so T7 Global, we are being located, our HQ in Kuala Lumpur, our HQ, and also spread across 6 different areas across Malaysia, with being 2 of our facility in Selangor, Serenda, and also our gas generation facility in Balakong, Selangor. So our oil and gas sites are being situated in Kemaman, Miri, and also Bintulu. All these are being situated in the hot areas in the oil and gas, so in order to serve our operations in those areas. So our board of directors, we have a very wide range of background and experienced board directors, being myself and of course Tan Sri Tan is the 2 executive directors. And we have 4 independent directors ranging from backgrounds such as lawyers to businessmen to also ex-government servants and also accountant. Our management team being led by 2 gentlemen, Group COO, Mr. Jim Tan, and also Group Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ong Fee Peng. So myself and also Mr. Asman being the head of the 2 business division. Asman is leading and Dato Ken is leading the energy division and myself in the aerospace division. So of course, not forgetting our QHSC senior manager, Miss Noor Haniza, who handles all our HSC matters across the whole group. Next is the business divisions of T7 Global Berhad. So in a nutshell, we are across 3 different industries, being in the energy, where we serve the oil and gas industry and also spread our services into the general industry. For the aerospace and defense, where we have a facility for the metal surface treatment, for aerospace industry for metal surface treatment. And also we have a marine division serving for doing all the ship maintenance and also ship repair. Lastly is our infrastructure construction, where initially was to support all the group construction related services in the group. However, we have also venture into other opportunities in the infrastructure construction as well, which I'll go in detail a bit later on. So just to flash through our clients that we have served and also currently serving so far, and across the energy supply chain, we would like to highlight that we have 6 business division within the business unit within the energy division. So as you can see, the EPC, OSC, and also IWS, most of our business unit are focusing our product and services in the upstream. However, we are also able to spread our other services across the midstream and the downstream as well, for the specialist products technology division and also the recruitment division. So how we are able to, T7 able to do this so far, being our competitive advantage of how to being smarter and efficient is basically based on these few principles: to manage growth together, to have a win-win solution for us and our clients, and also to optimize our supply chain within our 6 business division, enhance value through new ideas and solutions to our client, and also lastly, have a strong commitment to reduce our carbon footprint moving forward. So first, I would like to bring into our main business unit in the energy division, where it's called the EPC, Engineering Procurement Construction Unit. So Tanjong Offshore being the pioneer in the mobile production facility solution, where we introduced in 2005 the Mobile Offshore Production Unit, in short MOPU, in 2005 to Malaysia. So over the years, we have also managed to secure and completed 2 other mobile production facility, namely being Chendol MOPU to Petrofac, and also SURF, self-elevating relocation facility for Murphy Oil Sarawak. So which then bring us to our third MOPU, which I explained earlier we have secured in 2020. This is for the Bayan Field Sarawak, and it is for the Petronas Carigali. This contract, just a brief scope about this contract, we are being responsible to construct and also lease and also operate and maintain the MOPU for the next 10 years for Petronas. This MOPU is currently almost completed, and it will be commissioned expected fourth quarter of this year in the Sarawak field for Petronas. So our second business unit, which is the O&M, Operation and Maintenance, which is also our bread and butter for T7 Global. So T7 Global, we offer a wide range of services in the maintenance field. So ranging from preventive, corrective, unscheduled maintenance, or even shutdowns and turnaround. So currently we have extensive track record of the job. Even we are now serving three different fields in Malaysia, as shown in the graph above. Our IWS Integrated Well Services business unit is we consider as a rising star business unit as we see more and more activities, decommissioning activities by Petronas, and also announced in their future plans for the next couple of years. So we are fortunately to have secured to be part of the Pan Malaysia umbrella contract for IWS. So through this contract we have completed plug and abandonment for 5 wells in Pulai A fields last year, with ahead of time. So I believe with this, we've also received another contract under the umbrella for M3 field. So this will be, as you can see, this is double the wells we have done last year. So we foresee our team is currently executing this and foresee to complete with the same efficiency as well. So our fourth business unit within the energy is the specialist products technology. So basically, this is our business unit here represents and also represents various OEMs, multinational companies, to promote and sell their products and services to the oil and gas players in the region. So just to name a few: Honeywell, membrane system, Siemens, this automated DCS control system, Yokohama floating hose. So these are some of the product and services we have represented them for many years, and often these technology and solutions are being used in our previous business unit, being utilized back whenever there's a requirement by our client. And also we also try to promote this technology and solutions among our oil and gas players in the country as well, if there is a requirement for them. So last but not least is the recruitment and the manpower division business unit. It is known as T7 Intelligence Resources. With its establishment in 2014, it was recently rebranded as T7 Intelligence Resources, and it was announced relaunch in the OTC exhibition last 2 weeks. So in this area, we focus on providing manpower supply services to a range of industry across the region. So currently, we are supplying manpower or recruitment talents to three main industry, which mainly in oil and gas and renewable energies, ICT and digital, and also construction personnel. So that brings to an end of our energy division. So our new diversification business is the aerospace business, where we have in 2016 rebranded ourselves. During the rebranding activities, we have also invested into a facility, metal surface treatment facility in Serenda, where first of all, what is a metal surface treatment? Essentially, it is an enhancement process, the last process within the manufacturing process of the aerospace, where the metal parts, all the metal parts is mandatory for our clients to go through some sort of process to enhance their surfaces so they are more they're more sustainable when they are flying in the sky. So just to highlight a bit of our facility, we are the first fully automated treatment facility in the country, which serve the aerospace industry. And our facility is about 30,000 square feet built up with 42 different tanks, and we can serve any metal parts in the planes, which is up to 3 meters. So with over the years, we have since the inception, we have gotten ourselves accredited with all the relevant aerospace bodies and regulatory bodies. So we are proud to say we are currently serving, treating some of the aerospace parts which are currently flying in the sky today. So lastly is our third business division, which is our infrastructure construction. So again, since 2016, we have also set up our construction arm. Essentially, initially it was to construct and also to support any construction services or required in the group. However, we have had little successes in other areas as well, such as the MRT projects, a few construction projects in the customs, and also we are now currently constructing an Endau Mersing fish processing park in Johor, and our client is East Coast Economic Region Development Council. So that's all for our business highlight, business division. So I would like to now bring you guys a bit on our financial highlights and how did we actually done over the past 5 years. Basically, in a nutshell, just to highlight, we have secured the highest ever revenue for the past 5 years, and in fact, this has also surpassed our pre-COVID revenue level, and this is an increase of 40% from last year. Majority of this being contributed by O&M and also IWS business unit. And just to highlight that this number has not included our Bayan Mopu, which we expect to commence contribution by 4th quarter this year. So in a nutshell, we were able to see a better revenue growth in the coming years. So just a bit on our quarterly finance as well. This will also be our highest quarterly result achieved since in Q4 last year. So we foresee this trend we will grow in a very healthily in the next few years as well. So a bit of highlight on our snapshot. So our total borrowing stands at 400 million. Our assets have doubled since 2020. However, most of our expenditures and spending is through packed with a project. So we have managed to control our net gearing ratio to 1.26, which is still considered healthy in our point of view. So we foresee this will, and also the gearing will reduce progressively as well once the Bayan Mopu kicks in by end of this year. So banks are still very supportive of us as well. So we foresee a very healthy financial for us. So our business updates, as I mentioned earlier, 2020 and 2021 was our contract replenishing year. So in 2020, just to highlight our Bayan Mopu again, And also in 2021, with more than various contracts from oil and gas players such as Petronas, Hungarian Resources, Shari Gali Hess, we have secured up to more than 500 million here. So also not to forget our most recent contract announcement on our manpower recruitment. We have secured a 3 years contract from Petronas to provide them manpower as well. To bring this to this, we have a 5 years plan where in the next 5 years we target to have our revenue mix to be 70-30%, 70 for the energy and 30% for the other two divisions. So how we're gonna do this is, for energy, we target to build a very sustainable base for energy assets for long-term recurring income, such as our biomoku. And on top of that, we also will continue to partner with global OEMs to introduce any new technologies and any other automated digitalized solutions. Lastly, also not to forget our focus in our ESG initiatives, ultimately to reduce carbon footprint for our businesses. For aerospace and defense, our main target is to achieve optimum utilization rate for our facility and also continue to promote high-tech defense equipment to Malaysia and also the region. For construction, we tend to be more selective, where we pursue on high-value infrastructure projects in Malaysia. Usually, we try to incorporate with any digital automated solutions that are currently having in the group for all these kind of jobs. So last is the industry opportunities that we have prepared for everyone here to explain a bit on our future strategy on how we're going to grow our business. So in a nutshell, so with the 6 business units in our energy, so it can essentially be summarized in this slide. So we are currently, it can shows our presence within the oil and gas industry in the country. So currently we are executing concurrently 3 brownfield service contracts, 2 MCM and 1 hookup commissioning projects. And also we have a very positive momentum under the IWS umbrella contract with last year completing Pulai A P&A campaign. We've also now executing the M3 P&A project as well. We have also long-term price agreement for SPT division, such as the GFA for Siemens distributed control system. And also we have a long-term supply contract with Hibiscus as well for CO2 separation system supply. So to highlight, our biomoku, why we have been able to be successful and also successful in this, and also we see a lot of interest across the region. So to highlight our mopu solution, why first of all is fit for purpose. Our clients who have engaged us will be able to have a fit for purpose mopu in a way they will be able to select and choose their capabilities they want in the mopu for their own purposes. So we are able to convert to their requirements. On top of that, we have also secured, we have also offer a capital lease model, essentially called a BOO, build, own, operate model, where our clients are able to have 0 capex and still enjoy the mopu while to be paid back in the long run. So last but not least is the reusability of the mopu. So upon the completion of any project, the clients are able to re-engage us if need be to have a minor modification before sending the mopu to serve for other purposes. And so in terms of that, on top of that, just to highlight, since our recent success with biomoku, our team, Mr. Azman and team, have now continued to explore projects internationally for our floaters solutions. Currently, they are tendering or pursuing 5 different projects in Malaysia and also internationally. So our internal target we have set to us is at least 1 floater project for every 2 years. So lastly is I would like to highlight our Rising Star business unit again is the success story in Pulai A field. Why the success story? Because we have completed the campaign with no injury over the 135,000 man hours. And so we've successfully completed 5 wells ahead of time, and also set a new record where we're able to successfully have the fishing recovery for the koi tubing. So in summary, the client has summarized that we optimized the operation by 30% in terms of schedule efficiency. So with that, we also hope this will be our target, and we would like to maintain this kind of efficiency rate for our next coming P&A job as well. Lastly, just to close off the presentation, I've had the Brent oil price outlook here. So currently, it's sitting at 105 or 108, so it's fluctuating. But however, what I would like to highlight here is that if there is the higher in oil price, will definitely lead to more spending in terms of capex and also opex in the coming years. So with this, oil and gas contractors like us will definitely benefit with a very healthy oil price. Okay, with that, I think I've covered most of our capabilities, and so I thank you. If there's any, I pass it back to you, Shane.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing with us the business development for T7 Global Berhad. So if you have any questions to ask our speaker, please write it in the Q&A box so we can better address your questions. So don't write in the chat box, write in the Q&A box. Okay. Now, Kevin, knowing that the Bayan Mopu project will become the main revenue contributor to the group over the next 10 years, and it's expected to commence in the second half of 2022. So can you elaborate more about the contract and how significant will this project contribute to the group? Will the project start to contribute to the group's top line this year?
Definitely, it will start contributing to our top line by end of this year. So the moment it commissioned in Sarawak waters, 4th quarter this year, that's where the contribution will kick in from Petronas. So assuming I put in on the slide here our financial performance, assuming with 200 million baseline revenue, with this contribution of Bayan Mopu for the next 10 years, we expect at least 50% on top of this 200 million for the next couple of years. Yeah.
Okay. Now, just now you show us a segmental breakdown, right? In the future, you hope that 70% will come from energy, the other 30% come from the other 2 divisions. So what is the current segmental breakdown right now?
So currently, I would say almost 80% of the revenue out of 264 will still belongs to the energy division, and the other 20% is spread across the 2.
The other 2 divisions, yeah.
Aerospace and construction, yeah.
Okay. So you just now shared that the T7 Global will focus on bidding for floater opportunities within Southeast Asia, and you target to complete 1 floater project every 2 years. So can you share with us about your company's competitiveness against other competitors in the floater project market and how the group funds for these future projects?
So I'll get Mr. Azman to answer this.
Sure.
Okay. For this kind of a project, we normally offer smarter and efficient solution for our oil and gas producer throughout our partnership with our international OEM, our shipyard, and also for this kind of project, we normally finance project using a combination of equity and also bank borrowing itself.
So essentially, yeah, like our first one with Payan, we've also utilized a bit of course, our internal funds with the support of a bank lah, made for the project.
Okay, understand that. Now, knowing that T7 Global launched your recruitment and manpower services last month, so can you share with us the revenue contribution from this segment in the past few years, and what is your plan to grow this segment moving forward?
Okay. We have a few contracts with our major oil and gas that we had before that we mostly extended. And having said that, we also will execute more contract that we are bidding right now, and still majority in our oil and gas. And also, other than oil and gas, I think we are expanding to non-oil and gas, as Kevin mentioned just now. That's where we want to grow the business of manpower.
So essentially, for our manpower division, we target to not only serve within our industry. So obviously, we predominantly have been supplying manpowers in the energy division, most of it. But of course, over the years, we've expanded to supply personnel in the IT and digital space, and also the construction personnel as well. So over the years, we target to serve more industry, and also for this division. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for the clarification. Last week, we learned that the T7 Global's recruitment and manpower services arm secured a 3-year contract from Petronas. So what is the value of this contract?
Unfortunately, we won't be able to provide any value, for this contract because it essentially it's more ad hoc basis. Petronas will give us requirement from time to time, and we will have to supply it.
Yeah, it's more on a work order basis. So we have a like umbrella, but we have a more work order. Every time client request, they will engage us. So there's no specific value for that.
Yeah.
Okay, understand that. Now we know that the border is reopening. Of course, it has opened a few days back, and the group is expecting the aerospace industry to recover gradually going forward. Can you share with us your outlook for the aerospace industry, and how do you see the contribution to the group this year?
Sure. I think the contribution, of course, with the government, few governments now announcing endemic throughout the whole world. So it is a good news for our aerospace division, where we also start to see a lot of our clients, such as Airbus and Boeing. They're already announcing their recovery rate on the demands on the plane. In fact, with the 2 most recent air shows in Dubai and also Singapore, there is a lot of plane sales ongoing. So ultimately, this will all convert to the manufacturing side, where more and more demands of aircraft will be there. So in fact, just a rule of thumb, our clients expect to go back to the pre-COVID level within the end of this year. So the rates of the plane. So we foresee for us being fully accredited by these people, and also being recognized by these people, our capabilities. We are now bidding more and more jobs internationally through these people. We can see a huge improvement in our aerospace division compared to the start of the pandemic.
Huge improvement. Yeah. Do you supply the Airbus directly?
No, we don't supply to them directly, but they are our client's client. Yeah.
Okay.
Ultimate end user, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. Is Boeing also your ultimate end users? Just asking.
Yeah. Well, we essentially we serve these two giants we are part of their supply chain. So Boeing and have their own supply chain and also Airbus. So we are now listed in part of their supply chain. So for example, some of the flights we are now handling is also like some of the new flights like A321 XLR, A320s. We are also doing their parts for them right now.
Okay. Understand. So so when we fly, right, we're definitely using some of your parts now.
Yeah. Definitely. I am quite confident. So some of the parts now is probably treated by us. Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, mainly on the wings. We currently focus a lot on the wing side of the planes. Yeah.
Okay. Understand. So what is your total current order book and tender book? Is there any breakdown?
Our total order book currently sits at 2.3 billion, and this will last us across the next 10 years. 10 years is the longest contract we have within this 2 billion. So majority of our contract is mid to long term, 3 to 5 years. Essentially this order book can last us for the next 10 years. So in terms of tender book, we also tender around 2 billion so far. So expecting some good news in the coming months.
So 2 billion across all the three segments, yeah.
Yes. Mainly, of course, majority will be on energy.
Oil and gas,
Yeah. So I think the 80-20 ratio will be good to estimate.
Yeah, but going forward by 2025, your target to be 30-70, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So last year, the group has secured over 500 million, mainly from the energy division. So what is your target order book replenishment and the breakdown for the division in 2022?
So of course, like I mentioned earlier, 2020, 2021 was our contract replenishing year. So we have had a good run with our team, but of course every year on year target we expect to replenish almost 20% of that, right, year on year onwards. So yeah.
Okay, understand that. Now for the aerospace industry, right? Can you also supply to other industries as well?
Oh yes. Our our processes in the facility, we are able to service more than just the aerospace. Yeah, you're right. So for example, industries such as electronics, automotive, or even medical industries, essentially some of the processes I have in my facility is similar to these industries needs as well. So we are also able to service other industry. In fact, some of the automotive parts we are processing for the industry here as well currently.
So do you make any plan to venture into these industries that you mentioned? Like we know that technology is like a circular growth industry.
Of course, there is a lot of factors we have to balance because essentially aerospace have very stringent requirements, and often they don't like the parts to be mixed if they're coming from a different industry. So we have to have different arrangements, so different areas for different industry in a way. So we have our areas for aerospace, and also we have our small areas just to serve the other industry as well. So we will try to balance, but of course our focus will still be the aerospace industry. Yeah.
Okay, understand your direction. What does it mean to be a fully automated aerospace factory? Does it mean that you have less manpower?
Yes, this is of course, being a fully automated industry essentially means I rely on less labors. So when we first designed this facility, most of our technology is based on, I mean, in line with the digitalization IR 4.0, where we have, instead of traditionally using manual methods to load the parts or to paint the parts, so we have invested into higher technologies where, for example, each of our processors line only require one operator at a time, because all is being controlled by our software system that we have developed. So all our processes being programmed into computer, so even the management will be able to manage where is the particular part is in the facility at the moment, even though he's not in the facility. So things like that we have included in our facility and we are proud to say we are fully automated with very reduced labor compared to traditional treatment houses. Yeah.
Okay, understand that. Since the speculation of the Russia and Ukraine conflict, right? The oil price has already soared in response to this conflict. So right now it trades more or less like $100 per barrel right now. So how high of this oil price will benefit you?
So I think with $100, I think in fact Jasmine is already laughing, right? But of course we hope the oil price to go higher, but it cannot be. We just hope the oil price will be stable. In fact, anything above, I would say $50-$60, it will be very beneficial for us as well, because of how our oil and gas operation works in the country. So yeah, so with $100, in fact, we foresee, even with the Petronas announcement this year, more and more capex might be rolled out. So with higher oil price, definitely will benefit oil and gas companies like us.
Okay. Do you see that the oil price will stay above $100 in this year?
Yeah, I think there is a good chance. There's a good chance that it might maintain this level for this year. But however, we can't control the oil market lah. So maybe it depends on few international events as well that might happen. Yeah, so we expect it. We just hope in T7 view, we just hope the oil price will be stable. So they won't. If there's no huge fluctuations, then it's definitely good for us. Yeah.
So when you mean stable, it is above $50 lah, huh? So that would be good for T7.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we know that you have a couple of business segment that you serve, right? The midstream, the upstream, and the downstream. So which business segment will you focus on?
Oh, okay. So so across the oil and gas value chain, essentially we are mainly focused on the upstream business. So as you can see, most of our business unit on the slide above is mainly highlighted across the upstream areas lah. So essentially, but of course we can serve all the way up to downstream, but we still focus most of our operation on the offshore businesses. So anything offshore, off the land, will be our focus.
Okay, understand. So usually how long are these contracts in nature? Is it long term? And will you be able to increase your fees or your prices with higher oil price?
Definitely. Okay, if of course different business unit, the types of contracts are different, but let me just highlight on a few of them, such as our operation maintenance. So traditionally our operation maintenance is all the brownfield projects such as MCM, hookup commissioning. We usually have those for ranging from 3 to 5 years. And also for our floater solutions, EPC division, where we we'll be able to enjoy a longer contracts lah. So such as our Biomopu or our surf project, we seeing the range of 5 to 10 years. So essentially, most of our contracts will be within the 3 to 5 years or even slightly longer. So 3 to 8 years range lah. So that's where we could, of course, our other division will have a different type. Some is one-off, some will be serving. For example, our recruitment division is also usually a long-term contract where we will have to provide certain individuals for over the next 3 years or 5 years. So in a nutshell, our contracts are usually minimum about 2 to 3 years, all the way to 5 to 6 years contracts. The range. Yeah.
Okay, understand. So apart from Mopu, will we be focused on only local contracts, or you will venture regionally?
If our team has already started to explore overseas as well. In fact, beside, like you mentioned, our Mopu, we have already we are currently tender almost 4 or 5 Mopu internationally. So on top of that, don't forget that we do have a small presence in other countries such as Thailand, Singapore, and Australia. So our team there and also the team here, we are constantly trying to explore international projects as well. So through these officers internationally, we are able to access and tender international jobs as well.
Okay, understand. Now, as the Malaysian government has placed more emphasis on the ESG, and investors are increasingly more concerned about ESG, in particular the institutional investors. So can you share about your ESG initiative, and how does this ESG initiative benefit the group?
So essentially, our ESG framework, sustainability framework, based on 3 key pillars. As you can see here, value creation, environment, and also people first. So at the start of this framework, we have currently aimed to focus on 4 goals, 4 UN SDG goals, and goals number 8, number 3, number 5, and also number 14. So moving on year to year, we have target internally to increase, to have 1 more goal additional every year until we have finished aligned with the 17 goals by UN SDG.
Okay, understand that. So you cover about energy, aerospace, and construction. So can you tell us more about defense? What are you doing for this business segment?
So aerospace and defense, essentially, we have categorized them in the same business division. Essentially, why? Because our treatment facility also will be able to serve the military as well. So, but of course, we are continuing to pursue that. On top of that, we have also have a small divisions, which I didn't highlight in the slide today. We have a small division situated in Lumut, where we are currently serving the Navy and some other shipyards there for any commercial and naval ships. So what we do there, with our traditional vessel experience from the oil and gas, we are also able to serve the naval ships and also commercial ships for any MRO or maintenance programs. So essentially, within the defense industry, so we are focusing more on the ship repair, ship maintenance, or we also promote some high-tech equipment, defense equipments to the Malaysia Armed Forces as well.
Okay, so are your defense clients within Malaysia only, or is across ASEAN?
So far, it's only within Malaysia.
Malaysian Armed Forces.
So far, it's within Malaysia.
Okay. we know that now is a wartime period, so this somehow is came to my mind. Right? Do you think that this division will benefit from the from this
So
wartime period?
of course, yeah, I I think I don't think it will benefit us in that sense, because essentially why we are in this business is not to, first of all, just like to clarify, we are not to promoting war or weapons. We are, just to highlight, we are a Sharia compliant company, so our defense equipments that we are promoting or even selling to our clients is essentially more towards monitoring or surveillance equipments. So things like such as software, any IT software, the systems, any monitoring or surveillance equipment only. So we, just to highlight, we won't be doing any arms or any weapons within our group. Of course, this is to align with our Sharia compliance. Yeah.
Okay.
So just to highlight that we will be promoting only, yeah, essentially surveillance and only monitoring solutions. Yeah.
Okay. I think recently I tuned into one of the speech by the Singapore Foreign Minister, Dr. Vivian, who highlight that the need for Singapore to improve defense budget, if I'm not mistaken. So is Malaysian government moving towards this direction?
Of course, being in this line, definitely we hope to see that. But of course, in our opinion, defense is one of the most critical areas in the country lah. So we usually see quite high budget in these ministries. So currently, our government also have announced that they are more focused, rather than on weapons, they are more focused on what I've just mentioned, the healthcare, the surveillance equipments, the monitoring equipments, more towards the defensive rather than the attacking equipment lah. So which is in line with our target as well. So we only try to promote this kind of equipments for the armed forces to be more well equipped lah. Yeah. Rather than to.
All right. Let's move on to the construction division. So will you be tendering for future potential revival of the mega projects? So such as like MRT3 or other, possibly HSR or something?
So yeah, in our when we are discussing and aligning ourselves for the construction, like I mentioned, we tend to be more selective, mainly because we our focus a lot on our energy and also aerospace. So we confident we will be involved in those projects, but yeah, so we will be involved, but we won't probably will be involved in some ways or another lah. So we will be either through tender or partnerships, so which we will announce in a short time being. Yeah.
Okay, we will wait for your good news.
Thank you.
Now you notice that the group declare about 0.5 cent per share for the financial year 2021 for the dividend, which translated to about 1.4% dividend yield. Can you share a bit with us your plan for the dividend over the next few years? Do you have like dividend policy?
So yeah, this question pops up almost every year to us by our investors. So currently there are still no dividends policy in our group, but however, we did declare last year as well. So we foresee, with the Bayamapu kicks in, with such a good result that we've been doing, this year we will announce for our dividends as well. Yeah. So in terms of that, it purely depends on our cash flow. Yeah. So we foresee, we will give a good news to our shareholder as well. Hopefully we can do the same this year for our shareholders. If of course, it purely depends on our board approval. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is the last call for any questions. So if you still have any question for both our speakers today, you may write your last question in the Q&A box. Let's see if there are any more questions. So in the meantime, right, we are coming to the last part of the segment already. Could you give us and do you have any closing statement that you want to share with us today?
So closing statement, I think in a nutshell, T7 Global, we have transformed ourselves since 2016. We organically, so we target to continue to grow organically through our three business divisions, and expect a better result. Yeah.
Okay, understand. Anything from Mr. Asman?
For me, as a head of energy, of course, as per what Kevin said, 70% overall business in 2024-25 onward, we are focusing on the revenue and also the profit that we will make for the company itself. So we must, as per what we have presented just now on the smart solution, smart and everything. So we want to make sure that we are profitable more in our revenue. Thank you.
All right. So thank you, everybody. Looks like there are no more questions from the floor. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. So ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard from Mr. Tan Kevin, the Executive Director of T7 Global Berhad, and also Mr. Asman Yakim, who is the Head of Energy Division of T7 Global Berhad. So thank you, everybody. May you all have a pleasant rest of the day. So let's watch out for more webinars from Bursa Malaysia for this corporate briefing. All right. So hope to see you all again. So this is Shane Chu signing off. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you, everyone. Bye.